Hi there, everybody. Well, like you can see, our wonderful friend, Mr. Div from Rat Rods for Africa was here. He visited me, gave us some goodies, shirts, and stickers. Today, let's see what we're going to do to fix the door on this Ford. Like you can see, it's pretty messed up. I've got a piece of channel that I was planning on just replacing this bottom section with because the channel is actually the same width, everything exactly. I'm just going to maybe lob this off and lop the bottom side off and replace it with channel because it's also thicker. But also I'm going to have to do a series of pie cuts to get my curve. Okay, let's take it from there. Let me take this wonderful shirt off because it's too nice and too new for me to work on cars with. Alright, like we can see, this poor door got bent out of shape pretty badly. So also it's going to have to reinforce it, but I want to keep it in this gap so I can get it closely as possible to close up here. Like you can see, it's opening up. That's also the aim of putting a piece of metal in there, thicker than the door. Just get a rough estimate. Okay, 915. I'm gonna chop my piece of metal because remember I still have to make a flat piece on the inside. So I'm gonna chop it a bit differently. Let me just plan this thing. Chop it straight off. Then I've got to chop off the bottom because I need the thickness on the inside. Let's work that out quickly. How thick is this door? What's left of it? Alright, let me check. Thickness of the door 55. Now that's in millimeters. It's about 2 inches and a quarter if you take it to American size. Like you can see, 2 inches and a quarter. That's why I opted for this, then I don't have to bend a piece of steel like this. Right. Let me lop this side off and work it out. Got something to start with. Let me see, am I gonna bend this over or that over? I think I'm gonna bend this part over to come up here. So let's see, that's from where? The hinge is here, so I need about 60. I need about 60. Then I'll somewhere lob this off because I want to bend that to be part of the door that side. I know I should be working on the bench behind us, the workbench, but I don't feel like just jumping up for that. There we go. And let me mark it. Let me cut out the square. Also, you'll find me just lobbing this piece of channel on the other side. So I can just bend this up to fold into there. Right. Now that is 60. But remember, we still have a bit in. Now the bit we go in, about 11-ish. Alright. So I'm gonna have to cut it right about there. But this I have to protrude. So this square I'll be cutting a bit less. So I've got part of my skin, door skin. 148. 148. So I'll cut that. So I've got part of the door skin protruding. Yes, let me just mark it clearly. Right. So that will be the part extra going around the lip. Alright, let me quickly do that. This is all going and planning as we're going. I had a plan in my head, worked it out, but plans do change. Okay. Let me just trim it a bit so I can bend it without touching. We bend that corner, just get rid of that excess. Bend that corner, so I've got this with the overlap for the corner there. Let me quickly get my vice grip. Right, let me quickly start bending this. I do want to leave that inner lip, that inner structure. Take a hammer. Take my hammer and dolly. And just shape it a bit. So I've got a sharper edge. As that edge is basically square. And now I'm going to lob it a bit off for the hinge, but I decided let's take it a bit extra so I can come right up to the hinge because it differs on the inside. Also just nail this a bit flatter. Right. Now, let me get my sizes. Because this is bent so badly. I'm gonna run from the top. It's gonna give me a more accurate size actually. Yeah. 19, 910. 19. Okay. You'll see what I'm doing is I actually have it extra because I'm gonna lob that off according to this because I see it's a bit rounded. Right. Where's my scribe? Alright, this is not where we're gonna cut it, it's just the length of the door. Right, now we need to work out how we're gonna cut it, etc. etc. This is the length of the outer skin, right? But also, we need to protrude so we can have a piece up here. I'm gonna have to make it a bit flat and work this into this. Like you can see, the whole bottom side structure is done for. So I'm gonna work this in as well. That side at least is flat. Okay, what did I state? I remember that door is not perfectly the same right through, it's bigger here. So yeah, it's actually smaller this side. 40. So 40, I have to have it 40 up. Right, so let's take it to, I'm gonna have it 60 up at 40 wide. Sorry. So here, right, we'll go right through. This is my width. Should be sufficient. It's gonna be a bit metal work. Right. seemingly it's gonna be something like this. Right, let me chop it off here first. We'll fit it to the door just to see we're not doing all our final cuts, and we'll take it from there. Alrighty ho, don't throw that away, because after I've got this fixed and into position, I'll probably have to push and pull this story to get it straight, and then I have to do this bottom side. That's also nothing left. This is actually part of the channel I used to make the inner sills back in the day. Right. Have a look there. Something like that, something like that. And that's good. That's good. Something like that. Remember, I still have to do a series of pie cuts because this has to curve. Now we're just working it out. Like you can see, that's in line with the hinge in the bottom there. Should be right. I don't give it too much to actually bring it up here. Let me work it out. Got about 50, yeah. Should have cut it maybe a bit longer, but this will work. I just wanted to take more of the bottom of the door out actually. That's all I wanted to do. So this is how deep we're going to cut it in here and section it so we can bend this up. So it can come to the back side of his door, because here it's almost flush, but then it starts going into two parts. So I might have to chop it in two parts as well. And then we'll grind our piece of scrap metal clean, cut this, grind it clean, and start bobbing it together. That's going to be fun also. Also, see here, I want to knock that section off. It's about there. It's about there. Yes. Against the hinge. It's about there. According to dooring, gonna be something like that. Yes. That should look good. I'll say. Sort of like that. Now we can start working for our roundness. Like you can see, that will go in there, that will go in there. Now we need to start with our pie cuts. Okay, my pie cuts, because I need this thing to curve this way. I'm gonna plan roughly on an eye, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. Actually, let's make a bit more. But you get the gist. Let me just do some cuts. Let me curve it and tag it together. And then it should be okay for there, like you see. Then I'll probably put it on the inside of the door. First, I'll probably cut this out. On the bottom side, that's so gone. And then I'll start fitting it the inside. Let me quickly cut this all out. So I can just, as a cap, put it over and start curving the door also to it. Let me do all my cuts. Right, like you can see, I cleaned it up. I got my pie cuts. Let's start from the middle. The store only has a gentle curve, so let me just curve it gently like that and tack each one. If I need be, I can grind loose and tack again. Start from the center out. Alright, let me quickly do all these to get a profile I want about. Alright, now that I've got all that together, just switch off my machine for now and test fit it. Hopefully this curve's not too much, but that's why we tagged it. Right. Should be sufficient. That's why you see it's better way. I have to get it over the old spot first so I can look at it. Just open this door a bit. I didn't want to take it off like I explained, because first things first, I want to see something first. I'm going to have to chop that small bit off there in the corner of this door. It's anyway rusted and it's going to go anyway, so I might as well quickly just take that off. Right, this is roughly how a door should be. Let me just mark where I want to cut and clean so I can bob this together. Right, this poor car had it, eh? It's gone. Let me cut this off so I can make a flush fit about that. Do that. Carry on from there. Now this is so thick, I can guarantee you the car is going to rot away and that's still going to be lasting, because that's about 3 millimeters and this is 0.6, about a lot thinner. It's about double the size thickness of that. Now we'll just clean it so I can have a nice place for the welder to lash onto. That's that. Right, that's that. Pretty much. Pretty much. Right, let's quickly start tacking it together. Take it from there. Now that looks a lot better. That looks better. I have a bit actually. What I'll do is I'll tack it in place, and just the places where I have a bit to go, I'll take it out to get it flush. Nice but welded in. And it fits nicely with the corner of the door there. And with the corner of the door there. We'll work it in just now. Right. Just work it a bit. I'm gonna have to take it a bit over and chop again. That's nothing. Just shim this up right through. It needs to be the same. Right there. According to the running board. That's how it should be. Okay, let me tag the sections that's right up. Then we get to this corner here. See, the door did come out to where it should be, but I'm gonna have to pull this section a bit. Now the door needs to come this way a bit. Okay, it's not too tough, too bad. Actually, I wanna work it from here straight through so it can join up with this curve nicely. And when I grind it, it fits in perfectly as a butt weld. Sometimes it requires a bit of patience. Let me just lob that a bit straighter for the butt weld. Again, the bigger your disc is, the better you can get into the line like that. I think I'm going to quickly cut the whole line through while we're there on it. And then, like I say, work the door so it's nice and flush when I weld it. I mean, it's got to look like it's original when I'm done. That's the plan. Just a lot. We just push it a bit just to get it to level up. Sometimes it doesn't work as planned. Need to relieve a bit more. Just a bit more relief there. I can almost clamp it. It's almost as if the door is up to scratch with that. Get to that now. That's coming better now. Inside I still have to tie it together there. Then it will be flusher. So I've got to work it a little, tack it, work it a little, tack it. We just push something behind it to get it level. Just to push it out a bit so I can play with it a bit and get it where I want it. I think open this door up a bit and hammer it a bit. Alright, let me just hammer it a bit more. Because that's a tight gap. It's a very tight gap actually. But I can work with that. I just don't want to bubble it too much. Just fill it, tack it up there. So I can get this bubble down here a bit. Alright. And then after tacking it all the way through, we'll take this edge and bend it up a bit and fit it to the inside. Like you can see. Just take that excess metal bit in. So we've got it as flush as possible. Take this up a bit. Right. Let me work it a bit more, and then we'll show you the finished product. But you get the gist. Cut, hammer, cut, hammer, until we get to there. Right. All right, there you have it. Got our door nice and straight. Inside as well, not too shabby. I'll have to make a plan here and a plan there in the corner a bit. But that's all part of building the process. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and peace out.